now to continue his presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to continue now. Come. Oops. Okay, now soon I'll go into written questions, which I think is really the hardest. MCQs, to wrap up, cover your syllabus thoroughly. Cover your syllabus thoroughly. There isn't any secrets to MCQ. And all of you are adults, you probably have done enough MCQs in your life. Okay, it's the written that will go soon. But before I go, I like to touch on this. General tips at the start of the exam. Now, let me go through 3 tips. Some are more useful than others. The first tip is, at your exam, please arrive early. This is very stupid actually. I don't even feel I should say this. But in Singapore, I have stupid students, really. Why do you come late for the exams? You have students who come late, and then they come in, and then after that their mind is all off. So okay, this is super obvious, right? I don't need to explain too much. Please come early for your exams, clear your mind, and after that, you can ask this question. And this is where I think it is valuable. F5 to F9, you have 15 minutes to read, right? What do you do during your 15 minutes? There are 3 styles. There's the top student style, average student style. You know what is the see you again student? Okay? You all know, right? Now, ask you all, what do you do with your 15 minutes? What do you do? ACCA says 15 minutes reading time. What do you do with it? Read the question and plan the answers. Or do you, okay, she says read the question and plan the answers. Is it talking about the first question? That means the first question you start reading and planning the answer? Yes, for you, yes. Many styles, huh? For you, what style? Yeah.
In the case, 15 minutes, I will not read like that because we already plan at home already. So I will start the multiple choice question.
You start straight away. Is it similar? Are you actually saying you will start straight away also?
I do not, because now I attend the professional paper, not the MCQ, so I started at the first question of the...
Okay, yes, and professional you can choose. That's a little bit different. Professional, some papers, they have optional questions. Any other comments? How else can you use the time? Okay, now, I share with you your 15 minutes. What is average student first? Maybe average student. Because ACCA also gives you advice on what to use your 15 minutes for. ACCA's advice is this: 15 minutes reading time, right? Read the whole paper. Question 1, question 2, question 3, read. And then they say, start off with the easiest question so that your confidence goes up. That makes sense. But to be honest, this is the average student style. Okay? This is the average student style. You read everything, and then after that, you start with the easiest question. What is the problem with this style? I share with you what is the top student style first. Top student style is like what this lady said actually. Top student, you open the paper, first question, you cannot write on the answer booklet, right? But first question, you start working it on the question booklet itself. Such that after 15 minutes, I've done 5 MCQs already. Do you understand? And when the examiner says start, I just fill up A, C, D, B, B. And I start on the 6th question, 7th question. If you ask me, what are the longer questions behind? Did you read it? Top student will say, read for what? Don't need to read what? Because you think about it, I show you the disadvantage of the average student style. In the end, up to you which one you choose. As long as you don't do the see you again stuff. This one, these two, up to you to choose. Why I don't like the style of reading everything and choosing the easiest is because when you read everything, does it mean you really understand the question? Such that when I go to question 10, I say, oh, I read it earlier, so I don't need to read question 10 already, I can just do. Is it like that? 15 minutes reading time. After that, when you really do question 10 again, you read from the first word to the last word again, right? Aren't you double reading? Do you get what I mean? Aren't you reading the question twice? And especially for the longer questions, which is what we'll do later, the written questions. It is so long, you read it once during the reading time. Any benefit? Later on when you do the question, don't you have to read the whole thing all over again? So, top student style says, don't care. I read the question when I want to do the question. Because if I'm going to be a top student, I'm going to complete the whole paper. I will not plan to say, oh, I'm going to do question 1 first, then 3, then 4, then after that 5, and question 2 I leave as last. Top student doesn't care. He knows I'm going to do all 5. And actually, I encourage everybody to have the top student style because you should be doing all 5. You may not complete all 5, but you should be doing all 5 written questions if there are 5 written questions. Understand? Okay? But up to you, okay? If you think that starting with easier one gives you confidence, confidence is important, I acknowledge that. If it works for you, stick to that style. Alright? But I want you to consider whether you can just do without any reading. Okay? You look like you are uncomfortable with that idea. A bit. At P paper, are there a lot of optional? Because I don't teach P paper. At P paper, are there a lot of optional questions?
Just two out of 3 optional paper and 1 compulsory answer questions.
Question, huh? So 1 compulsory, then after that 3 questions, choose 2. Yeah. Those times then, you have to use your reading time to select of the 3 which 2 you want. Even top students have to do that. Because if you want to be top, of course, of the 3, you choose your best 2, right? Okay? But for F paper, do you have any option? It's all decided for you. Every question is compulsory. Okay? What is the CU again, student? You will see them in the ACCA hall. They will just be flipping the paper. These are people who come in with no plan, no idea. They just come in because today is exam day. They may have done some studying, but they have no strategy at all. So when they say you can start reading, oh, reading, okay, time to read, then they read. These kind of people, they cannot score that well. Alright, when you go to ACCA exams, you must be prepared. Either you're going to be the top student style or the average student style. Okay? Any comments on this? Any questions? No? I think I ran out of battery. Anyone here from Smart Trade?
Yes.
Can you help me ask them for battery? I think I ran out of battery. Did I off it? Oh, I offed it. Sorry. Okay. Now, for this, do you all have a habit? Although examiners and lecturers repeat this so many times, do you work out the time allocation? Do you all do that? Yes, right? Do you hold yourself strictly to it? It's like how many people invest here? You buy stocks and shares? 1? Anyone else? No. Okay, then I'll ask you. In stocks and shares, when your stock starts losing money and you can tell that it is not a good stock, what should you do? What will you do? Some are saying sell. What will you do?
Usually when I lose my investment, I will forget that investment and I prepare a new plan to buy new stock.
So you forget it. What do you mean you forget
I
it?
don't care about the past because if I remind, I can change
You can't change it. But do you sell it or you forget about it? As in you just leave it there?
Yes, I will make the plan to buy new stock.
But what about the old stock that is losing money? Do you sell it? Or do you hold it?
There are many ways. For example, if I believe it's a good stock,
Then you
I will
hold.
keep it, remain for a long time.
But if it's bad, then you will
But
sell.
I realize that it's not
Easier
easy.
said than done.
Yes.
Now that's the point I want to put across. Everybody before exam, you tell them. So if you do a question and you give yourself 10 minutes, but you are past the 10 minutes, what will you do? You say, oh, of course I will move on to the next question. That is the sensible thing, the logical thing to do. But in the exam hall, 90%, I almost say everybody doesn't do it. When you're left with, let's say 10 minutes, and you really are done with it, you must have the discipline to just move on. Okay? Later I'll explain further, but as humans, we don't do it because we find it hard to release something. It's just like stocks. When you lose money, you should sell. But do I sell my stocks that lose money? To be honest, I don't. Because I'm human. I hold thinking that, don't worry, just hold a while, I'll get more benefits. ACCA students, don't worry, just spend 2 more minutes, I can get the full marks for this question. And then you don't. And you spend 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Before you know it, your question, the last one, you do not complete. Please remember that. Alright? Only you can implement. I can only tell you. Alright? Okay. Okay, let's tackle written questions. And later I will really do some written questions live with you. Alright? Now, before I move, can I ask you, what do you all fear about written questions? What do you all not like about written questions? Why don't you like written questions?
Because the questions are too long.
So it's the reading. Is it reading the question is too long? Yes, that is one, right? The question can be very long. It's like telling you one long story, okay? Any other reasons? Not enough ideas to write, or don't know what the question is really asking. Okay? Yeah, that's true. Sometimes are you afraid that your grammar is not too good? Maybe a little, right? But honestly, should you care about grammar? Not too much. ACCA has promised you, I will not penalize you on grammar. Okay? Yeah, but all these are real concerns. Too long, don't understand what the question is asking, not creative, alright, to come up with suggestions. Okay, let me go through some ways to tackle written questions and we'll address all those that we spoke about. Now, first way, answer according to the marks. Now what does this mean? This means if it is a 5-mark question, you must write just 5 marks worth. Many students don't and they write too much. Now I want to teach you very quickly this rule of diminishing returns. Do you know what is the meaning of rule of diminishing returns? Anybody here is an economics student? You study bachelor in economics? Nobody? Or you studied economics? 1, 2. What is the rule of diminishing returns? Okay, I will translate. In Vietnamese it is okay, I cannot translate. Quang, can you translate what is it in Vietnamese? Yes, correct. Correct. This is saying like the longer you work at something, the less you produce per hour. Okay? It matters, it applies a lot in life, right? Like, if you work for your company, you come in the morning, 9 o'clock, the work you produce, fantastic. But as it comes to 5 o'clock, this law will come in. The rule of diminishing returns. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, your output is lesser. If your boss asks you to work overtime, you go to 7 p.m. at night, what happens to your output? Even lower. 9 p.m., even lower. It applies to many things in life. The longer you do something, the lower your output. It matters in your written questions also. Normally, students in the first 5 minutes of their written questions, they are like hitting all the marks, you know. The lecturer will like tick, 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 tick. But the student says, let me spend another 5 minutes on it. And he starts writing even more and more and more. The next 5 minutes, do you think he will get that many marks? He will not. He will not. So, the key is, you must know when to stop writing. Alright, write enough to get the marks and do not overwrite. Because normally when you overwrite, you are just wasting your time. Examiners like to say normally the last few lines that a student writes is totally useless. Okay? Alright? Next. Watch the clock, this one you know. Understand what the question is asking. And this is where I will do an exercise with you. Do you know the difference between evaluate, discuss, describe, explain, detail, outline? Do you know the difference? Describe and explain, what is the difference? About the same, right? Actually, a lot, they kind of sound about the same. So later I will do an exercise. It's one of your handout. Later I will do an exercise with you. Alright? So, you must know what the question is asking. This is my personal comment, because as a student, in the past, I did not like to read the first few lines. My thinking was, the important things, where are they? It's in the middle. You know, the first few lines, they just want to tell me the sun is shining, the company's name is IBM or whatever. They just want to give me an introduction. The introduction I used to think is useless. But that is very false. Very false. So make sure you read the first line. And this is my #1 favorite. Okay. In Singapore, Christianity is very strong. You all know Christianity, right? Okay, I'm a Christian also, but I won't talk too much about religion. But there's one thing I don't like. You know, sometimes Christians, they like to say that everything in their life happens for a reason. Like today, I went to eat at this place and I met this person. You know, everything in life happens for a reason. Like God wants me for a special reason to meet this person. So now I must figure out what the reason is. Seriously, everything in your life happens for a reason? So you are here meeting me for a reason also? What does God want you to do? He wants you to pass ACCA. Pass ACCA. I don't really believe in that, even though I'm a Christian. But in your ACCA exam, you better believe that everything happens for a reason. Every line in your exam question, you better have this Christian thinking that everything happens for a reason. Because most of the time, it will be true. They will write this line here, when you look at it like, whatever lah, just continue reading. But that whatever line can be an answer to one of the questions. Okay? So, are you able to have the ability to read hints in the question? This one I want to open to the class for a while. Is there a difference if your question says the company requires skilled labor instead of just saying labor? Is there a difference? Company, no matter what, need workers, right? But your exam question says this company requires skilled labor. Does it matter? Why? Just say labor lah. Why you make my question even longer? What difference is there between skilled labor and labor? Think about it. Anybody able to shoot across some things that maybe the exam question is trying to hint to you? Okay, I throw you some questions. What do you think their pay will be like? Their pay, high or low?
High.
High, right? To find such workers, easy or difficult? To find skilled workers, easy or difficult? To find skilled workers is easier to find skilled than to find just labor. Labor is unskilled, right? Which one is easier, to find a waiter or to find an accountant? It's easier to find an accountant than to find a waiter? Okay, I think you're all... Wait, there's still someone... You say it's easier to find an accountant than to find a waiter, is it? No. It cannot be lah, because everybody can be a waiter. Oh no. Maybe life is very different in Vietnam, is it? So if I put an advertisement for a waiter, nobody comes. But accountant, everybody comes. No way! Okay, better don't spend too much time. Okay. Skilled labor, we talk about in the UK, okay? Since your exams are set in London. In the UK, skilled labor is hard to find. All these methods, which one, when they enter your company, requires training? Skilled labor or unskilled labor? Which one more likely requires training? You sure unskilled? Who does more complicated jobs? Skilled labor, right? Both require training, but skilled laborers, they require extra training because very likely their jobs are more complicated. You must train them in the accounting software, right? But waiter, quite simple, right? Waiter, when people come, say hello, take their order, bring the order back, bring the food here, wipe the table, keep the plates. Their training can be done quite quickly. Now, why do you need to know all this? Because sometimes the question will ask you to suggest solutions to a problem. And then you have to use words like this. Later we will see, okay? Alright, now, let's do an exercise first to understand what the question is asking. And we will do it together. So when you turn past your sample, are you able to see, briefly explain what the examiner means for each of the items? It's on the 3rd page, I believe. Okay, now I will explain from here, okay? First one, calculate and derive. This one, there should be no problems. Agree? Calculate and derive. If you want me to briefly explain, I will just say, explain like this. Okay, now this one, nobody gets confused. Calculate and derive, just calculate. Estimate. Now for estimate, what do they mean? For estimate, 1, they may mean that, so let me zoom in a bit. Okay, can those behind see? Yes? Those can see? Okay, now for estimate, actually they really just mean this again. Okay? They really just mean calculate. But you may not need to calculate down to an exact answer. You could give a rounded answer, or honestly sometimes, like those who have done F5, certain formulas are not able to give an exact answer, like this formula. Is this a Vietnamese keyboard? Yeah. Learning curve. Now, learning curve, whatever you calculate at the end of it, do you know actually it's just an estimate? It is not an exact answer that you can go and bet $1 million on. That formula just gives you an estimated answer. So okay, these two are the simplest terms. Summarize, these two, if comes out, just calculate, which everybody should know. Now, these are the more complicated ones. Describe. Alright? Now what is describe? To you guys, what is describe? What is describe? Definition, characteristics. Okay, let me jump a little bit. Let me compare describe with this term here. So we jump a little bit, okay? This term here. Identify. What is the difference between describe and identify?
Identify means we list out information of the subject, but describing, in addition to listing out the components of the subject matter, we have to write the characteristic, feature, and maybe give some example.
Very good, very good. Now, what she's saying, identify, you just have to... Is there a way to change the keyboard? It's typing Vietnamese for me. Hold on, This one is English, Singapore. Press what? What happens when you press one more time?
Is that?
Oh, it's done. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, thank you very much. To identify is simply to list. List down. Now, do not spend time explaining. So, are you all familiar with the balance scorecard? List down the 4 areas. Literally just spend 1 minute and list down. If you are really rushing for time, list it down like this. 1, blah 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 blah. 2, oops. 2, blah 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 blah. Just list it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and you move on. Understand? But for describe, as the lady mentioned, and can I get your name? What's your name? Nim? Lim? In? In? Okay, as in said. Now, describe, you must list and what is with this keyboard, huh? Oh, okay, and to make it simple, okay, explain a little. So you could explain a little by giving features, characteristics, alright, and examples as you mentioned. But please watch out how many marks it is worth. If they say describe the balance scorecard and it's just 4 marks, put one section of it, let's say internal processes, and just give one line to explain. Internal processes is about seeing how efficient an internal process is and things like that. Alright? Okay, so that is describe. Okay? So if I want to give one example for this, alright? Let me just key it out. I give you one example of describing a balance scorecard. Are you all able to see? Okay. Oh. The keyboard is very sensitive. Hold on, don't worry, I'll let you all copy. Okay. Okay, are you able to see? This is described. Done. Alright? A balance scorecard, oh, of course you must do the other 3 aspects. I just give you the first aspect, okay? has 4 aspects. The first is customer satisfaction. This comprises of measures that track areas of customer satisfaction such as number of complaints per year. Done. Alright? You don't go and give one long essay on what the first area is. You now go to the second area, maybe financial performance or financial measures. Alright? Okay? So this is described. Described is fairly simple. Next one. This one is a little tougher. Okay, I'll let you all copy first. Some of you are copying. Go ahead. Okay, look like you are done. Interpret the results of the KPI. What does interpret mean?
It means we give out the meaning of the term.
Yes. Now, interpret is a higher level word. I put this word first. Are you all able to say this? I write here, opinion must be given. For interpret, you have to give your opinion because interpret means, do you think it is good or no good? So you look, they ask you, KPI. Do you know what KPI? Key performance indicators, right? One of your key performance indicator is the number of new products released this year. Let's say you release 6 new products this year. Interpret. Is it good or is it bad? Normally when you have to interpret whether something is good or bad, is 6 products good or bad? It depends, right? So, after you put your opinion, let's say you say it's good, you must explain why it is good. Because good or bad, it depends on how you explain. So, interpret always involves stating your opinion. 1. I interpret this as the company is doing well. This is a simple example of interpreting. Are you able to follow? So when the examiner asks you to interpret, he's saying, give me your opinion. I say the KPI of 6 new products is good. Justify. Because the competitors could only release 3 new ones. I tell you some bad answers, okay? Bad answer, the KPI of 6 new products is good because 6 is a high number. When the examiner sees that, he's not going to give you any marks. 0. Because 6 is a high number, is that a good reason? No. Alright? So you must justify with evidence. Okay? So, do you all understand interpret now? Okay? State your opinion and justify. Next. Outline the 4 parts of the balanced scorecard. So, I realize this is a good method. I always cancel out this. What does outline mean? Outline just means this. Just list and give a little explanation. You don't have to give too many details. Outline is a bit like when I stand and the sun is shining here, right? My shadow is an outline of my body. Do you understand? When you see my shadow, you know about the shape of my body. That is outline. Do you know whether I have 2 eyes? Maybe I don't have 2 eyes. But the outline wouldn't tell you, right? These are details. Do I have a nose? maybe I don't have a nose, right? The outline will not give the details. It just gives a very small explanation. Example, I measure customer satisfaction, and this measures how happy customers are with my business. Finish. You don't need to even give examples. Alright? Outline, small explanation, move on. Okay, compare. Okay, compare. Students, they think that they know compare, but not all of them are able to fully answer. This one I'll show you. How do you